Good morning. Good morning, good morning. There we go, that's better. Yes, good morning. It is Monday, July 11th, I believe, of 2022. And my name is Leigh, and this is my little crafting corner, my little space where we talk about crafty things, whatever I happen to be into at the moment. And today, it is all knitting. I don't have anything else to show you today besides knitting. Not quite enough sugar in that coffee. I am a illustrator, knitter, general crafter living in Pittsburgh, PA. I don't know what else to tell you about myself. I am still drinking my coffee for this morning, so I am still kind of waking up. It is not early, it is 11 o'clock, but I've had a slow morning, a really slow morning. But thank you so much for joining me here today. Yes, let's get started. What I'm wearing. I am wearing my stripy turtle tank. It is a pattern by Kurt on Instagram. Emily Curtis, maybe? I'll have it down here if I'm wrong. But it is a striped tank top. I knit mine out of Knit Picks palette for the gray color, which is the main color, so it's between all of the colored stripes, and it has I-cords down the shoulders, and also let me stand it a bit. It also has a little bit of ribbing at the bottom, and I did mine super cropped. It lands right at my actual waist, which means it is super short. But I did Knit Picks palette in the color Gosling for the main color, and all of the stripes are little lion head knits. It was one of her mini sock sets, or mini sets. I don't remember what the name of the set was, but it is this gorgeous combo of greens and oranges. Very 70s. I wear this tank top a lot, and I have mini sets that have been too special to use, and I'm thinking I might make a second one. I have Knit Picks palette here, a couple of skeins in the color Dough, which is enough. I need 2 balls of this for this tank top with 1 mini skein set. So I think I might make another one. Those aren't actual plans though. This is just me brainstorming. So we'll think on that. But I think that'd be a lot of fun because I do wear this tank top a lot. The only thing about the fit is it's a little bit narrow in the front here for people with busts, but it's fine. It's fine. All right, I have some finished objects for you today. We're gonna get right on into knitting. The finished objects, I feel like I'm sitting really high now because I'm sitting like on my leg, which is a bad idea. It will go to sleep. I have several finished objects. I believe I have 3 finished objects, and I have some good progress on other projects. I have 1 project coming out of hibernation. I have not actually worked on it yet, but I'm going to introduce it here on the podcast today so that we can be prepared for, like, I'm planning on working on it here soon. I've been getting the itch. And I also have a couple of new cast on plans that I'm going to share with you. So very exciting. Oh, I also have actual new cast on. 1 actual new cast on. So we'll jump right in. It's an exciting episode today. I have a boy standing right behind the camera looking at me. He thinks I'm talking to him. I'm not. We'll see if he joins us today. All right, finished objects. My first finished object is, we're actually gonna, first of all, rewind, go back. If you have been watching my latest episodes, the ones from this summer, I am participating in summer sock camp, and summer sock camp season means the podcast is laid out a little differently. I am doing updates on all of my projects that aren't socks, separate from all of my projects that are socks. Today we're going to start with socks because all of my finished objects are socks. So this is the summer sock camp update. I have not updated my actual little notebook yet because I finished a lot of these things yesterday and I just haven't gone into my notebook and filled out my little stats. I probably should have been a good podcaster and done that. Sorry if you can hear the boy grunting. He is wallowing around on the floor. My dog, by the way. The boy is my dog. So, summer sock camp update. First finished object is a pair of socks. And these are my pair of socks that I knit for another knit along, another sock knit along that we are doing at my local yarn shop. It is a summer sock knit along in collaboration with a local yarn dyer here, LeighKnits Fibers, and I finished mine. I finished my pair. These are a fun little pair of socks that I may gift. I think I may gift. They're oh so slightly small for me, which means they will probably fit a couple of other people in my family. And I love this colorway. Like, I have another pair of socks in my collection that is kind of similar. So I think these are the perfect candidate, since these are not worn and the other ones are. These are a perfect candidate for the gift box, my Christmas gift box. So here's the tag. It's LeighKnits Fibers. And the color, it was a sock set. It is Wuthering Heights for the main color and Renfield for the contrast color. And I really love, not only were these colors really fun to knit up, her speckling is impeccable. She's so good at what she does, this dyer. But this color, her base is also really fun to knit up. It's a really nice, soft 4-ply base. So that's my first finished object. I'm very happy with them. I'm so glad they're done. Second finished object, toss the tag. The second finished object is my June striped socks. The LeighKnits socks made pair number, I actually have them up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pair number 8 finished for sock camp. And this makes pair number 9 finished for summer sock camp. And these are my June striped socks. I don't know if it's gonna focus for me without me doing stuff. There we go. I am doing a self-imposed little sock challenge where I am just knitting a pair of striped socks every month for the entire year. And this is the pair for June. They were started late and they're finished late, but I am trying to catch up this month. I will talk about July's pair later. But these are done and I love how these turned out. These are a Republic of Wool color, and the way she dyes is they make little micro stripes, the socks do, or the yarn does. And yeah, I didn't use any contrast color or anything, and I did a Fish Lips Kiss heel, so I think they turned out like a lot of fun. They're just really beautiful. Love them, love them, love them. And doing a pair like this with no contrast color for the heel, toe, cuff, anything, makes for a super fast pair of socks. Not having to weave in ends or change colors, it feels like it flies by. And that is finished object number 2. Finished object number 3 is actually still in its little bag. I finished it last night unexpectedly. I was not expecting to finish these last night. I just got a bug up my butt and felt like doing it. Would you like to leave? Hold please, the boy would like to leave. I am back. But these are in my summer sock camp bag that I purchased from Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady. It is a bag by Mountain State Stitches. And I love it. I love this bag. And these were a pair of socks that I started a little while ago. They are a pattern and they are not blocked yet, so they are going to look absurd. But these are my sun-up socks. Here we go. Pardon the print quality. But these are my sun-up socks. It is a pattern by Lily Kate France. Lily Kate makes on Instagram and Ravelry. And I am using, or I used, they're done. They're done. Oh, I can get rid of a couple of tags. Whoa. Aha, here it is. This is a Kin Yarn colorway, and it is the color Bug Collector, and it is from his Camp Kin Yarn collection last year. And these socks look ridiculous. They look so silly, but they're done, and I think they're gorgeous. Like when you put them on your feet, they're absolutely beautiful. They are an all over ribbed sock. Come on, focus for me. They are an all over ribbed sock, except for the sole, of course. And they have increases for the heel, which is a short row heel, my favorite. And they have increases that are incorporated in this gorgeous cable detail. And there's also a teeny tiny little cable detail right on the Achilles tendon, which I love it. The attention to detail in this pattern is wonderful. These are beautiful. Maybe I'll try to stick one on a foot. I don't know if I'm flexible enough to stick my right leg is more flexible than my left leg. We'll see if I can show you what these look like. These were actually released at the same time as another pattern by Lily Kate France. She kind of made them as a pair, and I bought the two patterns together as a bundle, so I'll probably be making the other one soon. There we go. But they're gorgeous. I love this cable detail. It's a little difficult to see because I use such a busy yarn, but I don't care. I love it. And I may make some again in a more solid colored yarn. Who knows? This is definitely going in my list of patterned socks that I did not mind knitting. I don't have a very long list of those, but this now is included in one of them. And that is my third finished object. And final finished object. All socks. Now to finish up the summer sock camp update, I am going to show you my new cast on first and my cast on plans. Now the first new cast on is for another knit along. It is another double dip sock knit along for summer sock camp, and I have it here in this adorable octopus bag by Woodsy and Wild. And if you can see here, I have a shark enamel pin on it because these are my Sock Week socks. Sock Week is a knit along hosted by Natalie of Knitty Natty, and of course I have to participate. I participate every year. I don't know why I came out like every year, but it is a Sock Week challenge where you knit one sock in a week, and I always do a challenge to knit a pair in a week. I never do just one. I wouldn't find that much of a challenge personally, so I try to do a pair in a week, and it started yesterday. So I cast on yesterday morning. A lot of people cast on like the night before, like midnight cast-ons kind of things, but I was busy finishing up my sun up socks, so I didn't, and I cast on yesterday morning, and I have gotten some good progress. I am actually knitting these in tandem. I'm knitting both socks in tandem, and I am done with one leg and down one leg and the heel of another. Now, these colors are so good. Look how beautiful. I am so excited. This yarn is pretty deep stash. It is from Barnyard Knits. And it was one of her 50s twists, which is two 50-gram skeins twisted together and sold as one 100-gram hank kind of deal. And it is the colors Lakeside and Beach House. Now I cannot tell you for certain which color is which, but I am guessing this is Lakeside and this is Beach House, but I'm not sure, and I did not go back and check. But I did not a pattern for this. I am using my vanilla sock recipe, which is down in the description box below. It's always down in the description box below. Except since I'm doing the 250 grams, I wanted to do stripes. And I'm doing 10 round stripes, and on the color change, I'm just doing a knit one, slip one. So it looks kind of like teeth. I did a 15 round cuff, except I did 14 rounds of ribbing and then 1 round of just stockinette to prepare for the slip stitch color change. and I inserted the heel halfway through a white stripe. So I'll be finishing off this white stripe just so that there wasn't, I didn't want to do a complete stripe and then the heel, since I'm only doing 2 colors, and then have the heel bleed into the next stripe. I wanted to have uninterrupted stripes, and I wanted the heel to contrast on both sides, if that makes sense. It'll make more sense when I show you after I've done the rest of the sock. But yes, I am loving these, and knitting them in tandem is feeling pretty great. I don't usually do this, but I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because I normally have too many socks on the go to sacrifice 2 needles at once, but I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much. These are looking so great, and not bad progress for 1 day of work. I did 1 stripe this morning. I wanted, well, 1.5 stripes. I wanted to just get to the heel of this one before coming upstairs. So I did that this morning, but besides that, everything else was done yesterday. Since I finished all of my other socks, these are now the only pair of socks I have going. These have been getting all of my attention and therefore flying off the needles. So I don't know yet if I'm gonna cast on another reckless amount of socks. We will see. I'm just gonna follow my heart and cast on when I feel like casting on. But the only other sock camp update I have is my next pair that I do plan to cast on. And this is the only other pair I have actively planned. I do have, you know, my bucket of sock camp yarn that I want to get through, but I'm in a finishing kind of mood. I'm in the mood to finish stuff. I'm not in a mood to cast on a bunch of things yet. But I do need to cast on my July stripe socks because I have a strong need to finish these this month during July. And my July stripe socks are in this little bag that I made myself. It is a teeny tiny little drawstring bag with this really fun Christmas bauble, vintage Christmas bauble pattern on it, and I used red twill tape for the drawstrings. And I have an enamel pin here that says Merry Sockmas. This is from Stitchery & Co. A friend gifted it to me. And these are my July stripe socks. They are Christmas and July themed. And the yarn is Very Vintage Christmas. I have it caked up and ready to go. Very Vintage Christmas by Tiny Human Knits. And I decided on my contrast color. I am going to do natural. I want a natural contrast color. I don't know why. I tried gold, green, red. I even tried like comparable browns and tans, and nothing was quite right. I liked this best, so that's what I'm gonna do. I have found that the sock base that Tiny Human Knits uses is a little bit plumper than some other ones I use, so I will be knitting these on a size 0 needle and hoping for the best. And I will probably cast those on this week sometime. I'm just gonna keep it around till I feel like casting on something new, and then I'll have it ready. I don't wanna wait too long because I do wanna finish them this month. But even if I just focus on sock week socks this week and finish those in a week, then realistically I could finish these in a week. So, not really in that big of a hurry. Not too bad. And I have my tags. Oh, I have my Tiny Human Knits tag here as well, in case you need it. It is Very Vintage Christmas. And these get to go in here. That one's also, man, I have lots of tags in here I can get rid of. That's fun. All right, that's it for socks. That's the sock week update. That makes 10 pairs finished for summer sock camp. And we are at July 11th. Sock week goes through the end of August, which means I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks and a couple of days to finish 8 more pairs. I think that means I'm a tiny bit ahead of schedule because I had given myself 5 days per pair. Yeah, I think we're good. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe sock sets or sock yarns in my sock week bucket. And then I have 1 more Christmas in July one that I had caked up. That's 6. And then I'll have 1 more that I can choose freely. Cool. Anyways, that's the sock camp update. Now on to other things. First things first is my whip. My only whip. This is in my project bag that I made myself. It is a little quilted project bag. Very squishy, very soft. And in here is my moonset tee. And I actually do have progress on this to show you today. It looks like this. It is a pattern by Ozetta. And it is just a basic V-neck t-shirt. And I am using LeighKnits, the yarn, you gotta focus, LeighKnits Pebble, which is a fingering weight, 48% recycled silk, 36% fine merino, and 16% cashmere yarn. And I am using the color Ivory. And I just this morning, I probably would have filmed earlier this morning if I hadn't been sitting down wanting to get to this benchmark. I just joined the fronts together on my tee. So here's what it looks like. It weighs nothing. This fabric is incredible. It is insane. It is going to open up quite a bit with blocking, I believe, because of just the nature of it. And I just joined, literally just this round, joined together the V-neck. So the front and the backs are done. I think, I haven't actually double checked, I haven't read ahead yet. I think I have to knit down a little bit farther before joining the underarms for in the round, but I'm getting so close. And then it's just sleeves and the complicated part is done. I will have to sew this together the way it's put together. There's an opening here at the back collar, so I'll have to sew that together as well. But look how beautiful. I'm so excited. It's looking so nice and I'm so ready to have this in my wardrobe, just a basic white t-shirt. It's gonna be so good. I'm almost done with this little ball of the yarn and I have 1 more caked up. And then I have 3 more whole skeins. I think I might have extra. I feel like that's a lot of yarn still for how much I've done with this. So that's my whip. That's my only whip so far. I do have 1 whip that has been in hibernation that I have brought out of hibernation to work on because since I finished my Hello from My Colors crop, I have been itching for the color work again. And luckily for me, I already had a color work project started. It is in this really fun dragon project bag from Woodsy and Wild. And this is my twigs. If you've been here for a while, you have seen this before. If not, welcome to my twigs. I have a decision to make before I actually start working on this again. And that decision is, do I want to rip back? Maybe not. I don't know. This is why this is a decision I have to make. I am knitting this, or I started knitting this. I started knitting this before I learned a lot of really good, valuable information about color work. And my color dominance was wrong. The entire first part of this sweater, I was holding the main color dominant and I should have been holding the contrast color dominant. And so I don't I'm not like super far. Like it's a fair bit of work already, but it's been so long since I worked on it. I'm wondering if I shouldn't just rip back and start over, at least from like where the color work starts. That's what I'm trying to decide right now, because I really want this sweater. This is a beautiful, gorgeous, dreamy color combo in Pearl Soho's Linen Quill. I have the 3 colors of my dreams here. They are this gorgeous, I think this is called Kiln Red, and this one is called Calendula, and I can't remember the name of this one, but it's a beautiful like lilac-y gray. Oh my gosh, so good, so good. I'm so ready to work on this again. I just need to decide if I want to just keep going or if I want to rip back. Because I feel like if I start knitting the color work properly now, it's going to look silly with the top of it being one way and the bottom of it being the other way. But I also don't think that I can keep going the wrong way, you know? Like I just don't think it's in me to keep knitting this. Like it doesn't look terrible. It's like a very subtle color work if I leave it like this, because the contrast color was held non-dominant. Let me know your thoughts. Right now I'm kind of leaning to ripping back, which is fine. Like I've done worse. I've ripped out an entire sweater and knitted it back from, I've finished an entire sweater, ripped it out and knitted it entirely again. Let me know what you think below. I am ready to work on this again. So that is my out of hibernation whip, brought back out, coming back to life. I'm very excited. Whether I rip back or not, I'm still excited. And then my last project thing is a cast on plan. This also will overlap into acquisitions because this is new yarn. But I have received a few balls of this Juniper Moon yarn. It is the Summer Solstice yarn. It is a 48% linen, 24% cotton, 24% viscose, and 4% polyester blend. I'm making a shop sample for the yarn shop out of this. I'm not knitting something for myself. So this will be a shop sample for the shop. So I guess not really an acquisition, kind of an acquisition. It's new yarn that I will be knitting with, but I'm not keeping it. And this will be a permanent shop sample, so it will not be mine ever. And I'm going to knit the Oread. This is a new pattern by Audrey Borrego Yarn Flakes. Audrey Borrego Yarn Flakes. And there's nothing on this front page, but it is just a summery t-shirt, drop shoulder t-shirt design, and it's got this twisted stitch faux cabling down both in panels, down both sides here. So I will be knitting this out of this in a fairly small size, so that hopefully it goes pretty quickly. And that is my next cast on plan. I've done a couple of gauge swatches and have been off by a lot for all of them. So I'm still trying to get gauge, and then I will be actually casting that on here very soon. The only other acquisition I have is another Nomadic Yarns. This is a colorway called Home for the Holidays. And it is a beautiful, classic Christmas color combo. For me, at least. This is what my Christmas vibes are usually. Are you gonna focus? I'm gonna freak out. Okay, there we go. It is greens and reds and browns and grays. And I got it on the yak base. I got it on the yak base, which makes it even darker and moodier. And I don't think people talk about this enough. Christmas, I guess not Christmas. I grew up in a way in America. A lot of our like national holidays are based off of like Christian holidays. And we grew up celebrating Christmas in my household. Now I always say Christmas is my favorite holiday, but as I've become an adult, I've realized that as a non-Christian, Christmas isn't my favorite holiday. That time of year is my favorite, and I do celebrate pseudo Christmas, but not in the religious way. So sometimes I think that I celebrate more of like Yuletide, but I think really I celebrate the solstice, but with a lot of like tradition, like Christmas based traditions that I grew up celebrating. So it's like complex. I don't have an exact name for it, but that's my favorite holiday. It's my favorite time of year. This is how I envision Christmas: moody and dark and wintry. And I don't think enough people talk about truly magical it feels, and in a lot of ways spooky. It's in a lot of ways Christmas is as spooky, if not spookier, than Halloween. And I love spooky Christmas. I don't think people really appreciate spooky Christmas enough. Let's bring back spooky Christmas. Lots of ghosts, lots of magic. It's spooky Christmas. But anyways, I got spooky Christmas yarn and I'm very excited about it. I also like kitschy Christmas because, like, of course I do, but spooky Christmas I don't think gets enough, doesn't get enough love. I feel more magic at Christmas time than I do at Halloween. Hot take. I think that's all I have though for acquisitions. I don't think I got anything else new. I do have life updates. Do I have life updates? What do I have? Nothing immediate. Nothing in like the next week or so before I talk to you again. But I am gearing up for my show in August in Chicago. Trying to emotionally and physically prepare for that. I'm pretty excited about it. We are going on vacation at the end of August / beginning of September, right at the overlap. And it's going to be a very expensive trip, but also like very, very financially irresponsible, but you know, you can't take it with you. So I'm trying to like save up money and make extra money and like get ready for that and all that good stuff, which it's fine because we're just now exiting the slow season. My illustration business is just now starting to pick up a bit. The early summer time is the worst time of year for basically any small business, if you'll ask them. I guess unless you're summer specific, like bathing suits and such. It tends to be the slowest time of year for a lot of small businesses. But we're just now kind of starting to leave that. We're getting more into events and festival seasons, and commission work is starting to pick up again, which is great. Love it. And yeah, feeling pretty good about this whole decision to quit my part-time job and go full-time illustration, even though I do pick up shifts at the yarn shop every once in a while. I'm actually picking up a couple of extra shifts this month because we have the yarn crawl starting at the end of this month, and all hands on deck. Like, I'm gonna try to help out with that as much as I can, although I will only be here for half of it. The crawl is super fun though, the Steel Valley yarn crawl. It is a lot of fun. I love participating every year, or I loved participating last year. It was my first year participating last year, and boy did I participate. My wallet sure participated. But I'll be on the other side of the counter this year and I'm excited about it. But besides that, yeah, no, I'm just taking it one day at a time. We're just hanging out, working, trying to catch up on cleaning the house. I was out of town for like half of June, so I feel like I'm still catching up on cleaning the house. It's not that Brad doesn't clean, he does, and he even cleaned like before I came home. But my personal standards of cleanliness are different than his. So, and I have a lot of like sensory problems, like sensory issues. So things like having dirty floors really bothers me, but they're things that he doesn't notice. Like I can't walk around the house with dirty floors because it makes me gag to feel dirt on my feet. But anyways, things like that, just deep cleaning things that kind of fell behind. Like he'll do normal things like picking up and tidying and doing dishes and like wiping stuff down, but he won't like dust. things like that. I feel like I've gotten a little bit behind. So I'm still doing that, catching up on that kind of stuff. I am, like I said, in the mood to finish a bunch of projects. I have been spending a lot of time watching K-dramas, a lot of my free time at least, watching K-dramas and knitting and loving it. I love it so much. I haven't been reading a whole lot. I am still working on Court of Wings and Ruin. It has become my bathroom knitting, so I only read it while knitting. My bathroom reading. So it sits in the bathroom and I read it while I'm on the toilet. I wanted to apologize for TMI, but I'm a chronic oversharer. I'm not actually sorry. So if you aren't interested in hearing absolutely everything personal about me, then you're in the wrong place. I think that's all I got today though. Yeah, I'm going to work. I need to get some work done today. It is now, oh, it's almost noon. I guess I have to eat lunch first and then work. I'm gonna eat lunch and then I'm gonna get to work for the rest of the day. I have a long list of things that I need to do. So thank y'all so much for watching. Thank you for joining me today. I know it's always a mess here. It's always a mess, but if you enjoy it, thank you so much for coming back every week, and I will see y'all next time.